Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of ninaribena's Art Journal Prompts and More. It's week 3 of this month's words prompt, and it's time to do our calendar page for a calendar for 2019. Now this is the calendar that I made last year, ready for 2019, so that was January's page, and I just used a calendar blank, a ready-made calendar blank that I purchased from Amazon. Here you go, you've seen these pages before. I'm just going to flick through some of them. As I say, this is a calendar blank that I bought from Amazon. I'll leave the link to the supplier that I got it from in the description box below. Now, some of you have been asking about this, and they're not available for 2020 just yet. They're still selling 2019 blanks, but they are going to be available apparently by the end of February. So as I say, I'll leave the link to the shop that I bought this from in the description box below, so just keep checking. Now, the one thing I like about this is that it's on really nice quality cardstock. This is 250 GSM cardstock. This cost me £4.90 English pounds, I think it was, including postage and packaging. There are some available on Amazon for £2.50, £3, but the paper is much thinner. Now, I am not going to do the same format this year. Let me just put this to one side. To change things up slightly for me, you can do the calendar blank like I did last year. There are also a couple of other really good ideas on the Facebook group as well. Marina Hopkinson did a wonderful calendar, and she used an IKEA picture frame. In fact, she bought me one, and I will be doing an altering project on that, and who knows, I may even use it for my calendar pages this year. I don't know, I'm undecided yet, but search Marina Hopkinson. Also, Lynda Cooper Pearce did hers using a spiral bound mixed media pad as well. So, you know, look for Lynda Cooper Pearce because her idea was absolutely great, and there were several others as well. But this year I've decided I'm going to go smaller for my calendar page. I'm going to go artist trading card size, which is 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches, and then I'm just going to use, I haven't got one because again 2021s are not readily available. I'm just going to use one of the little mini calendar pads to go with my artist trading cards. So this is the one that I am going to use today. This is one that I've had in my stash for a long time, and the reason I'm going artist trading cards is that I just want something really quick and easy. You know, we do prompts every week, and that's hard going for some people. So, you know, let's do 1 week where we can just try and create something really quick, something really easy. So I'm going for artist trading cards. Now, if you don't want to do the calendar page in week 3, then that's fine. Do an artist trading card, a tag, a postcard, an art journal page, as long as it fits the prompt. And of course, the prompt this word is months, then that's fine. It really doesn't matter. You know, don't get too hung up on the calendar idea. It's just that I know that many of you were excited at the prospect of us carrying on with that prompt again for this year, so I've decided to run with it. So as I say, this is the artist trading card that I'm going to be using today. I created this, I think it was a couple of years ago, and it's just had modelling paste applied through a stencil, and it's got pink and orange, it looks like Dilutions sprays on it. So I just want to continue to work with this. Now, I want to add a little bit of turquoise to my background, so I'm just going to attempt to try and pick up a few really light highlights. What shall I use? I use this sponge applicator here, and I'm just going to try and go really lightly over my background, just to add some touches of turquoise. If I don't cover all the areas, it really doesn't matter. Just want a touch, as I say, of that turquoise or peacock. This is peacock, it's a Dina Wakley paint, just in the background, just to, you know, add a little bit more colour and darken things up a little bit. That looks better already, doesn't it? So I really like that. And as I say, this, whole idea for me doing artist trading cards is that I can do something sort of really, really quick. Hopefully something really eye-catching and a, nice piece for me to look at for my calendar next year. I love that. That touch of turquoise or peacock has really made a big difference. But I am going to add a tiny bit of treasure gold over the top as well. Not too much. I am really into my treasure gold at the moment, as you all know. And I'm going to add a tiny bit to my border as well. You can see that I'm really inspired by the boho fabrics that I got from Love Me Blue, because everything I do at the moment seems to be taking on a bit of an ethnic touch, and I just love it. So, if that's what grabs you, just go with the flow. And I don't know whether you can see that gorgeous gold in the background. That's really, really pretty. I love that. Got this piece of boho fabric here with these circles on, and I just think those circles will look really, really lovely on my background. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply some Mod Podge to the back, just to strengthen it and stop it fraying so that I can cut these circles out. Use Mod Podge, as I say, and I'm just going to apply it to the back of my fabric, and then I'm just going to have to let this harden and dry. It won't be too stiff, but it just means when I cut these circles out that they won't fray, and I can use them as embellishments. Whilst I'm waiting for my flowers to dry and my background to set, I've got a little wooden frame here, and I just want to add some gold embossing powder to it. So I'm just pressing it into my embossing ink like so. And then what have I done with my embossing powder? I've got some gold embossing powder here, and it might take a couple of coats. I'm just going to pour some over the top. I need to get some more gold embossing powder. I'm running low. So there we go. Well, I've got a pair of tweezers here to pick it up. So I'm just going to heat set this. As I say, it might need another coat. Now, I don't know whether you can see, the edges are still chipboard and you can see it. So I'm just going around with a Versamark pen, which is exactly the same as the ink in the stamp pad. And then I can just cover the edges as well. So I'll just add some more embossing powder to the edges. In fact, it's probably easier if I pour some out and just go around and dip it in like this, and then I shall heat set that too. Now the word I've chosen is harmony, and I want to stamp it out on, because this is so textured in the background, I want to stamp it out on a piece of acetate. And the way that I did that was I grabbed a piece of acetate. Where's the leftover piece? I've already done it, you might not be able to see it here. And I just used a marker and drew a circle and cut on the outside of it so that that will go underneath there like that. So I just want to stamp my word, and I'm going to emboss it. So I've got my embossing pad again here, and I'm just going to try and, let's have a look. That's the trouble, I can't see this. I hope I've got that fairly straight. Yep, that looks good to me. And then I'm just going to use some black embossing powder this time. And you should be able to see it in a second. That's my word, harmony. And I'm just going to get rid of the excess by just using a brush just to brush the excess bits away, and then I shall heat set this with my heat tool. And to get the line off, because of course I drew myself a guide, I just used some isopropyl alcohol on a piece of kitchen towel just to get rid of my mark where I drew my circle. So that's my word, harmony, and I'm just going to glue my acetate onto the back of my piece of chipboard using some craft glue in a fine nozzle bottle. That should do it, and so I'm just going to glue that on. Something like that. There we go. So whilst that's drying, I am just going to cut out my embellishments, which have set nice and firm now, and so shouldn't fray. I've cut my sari flowers out, and that's what they look like, and they're nice and stiff because of the glue, so those are not going to fray. And I think I'll probably have those on my ATC, something like that. Now, of course, because this is see-through, I wasn't planning on having the stalks there, the stems there, and you're going to see those. So what I think I'm going to do is create myself just a little background here, and that will sit on there. This is just a piece of grunge board. I've got a little guide there, so I'm going to trim that. Let's have a look. Let's eyeball this. So that's going to go on there, something like that. So I'm just going to turn it round, and this is where I need to cut so that I can glue it on. So I shall just trim this. I might need to trim it a little bit more, we'll see. So let's have a look. And I'm going to paint this, by the way. So yeah, that will work, so you can't see any of the excess bits there. So I'm just going to paint this out. One of the Cosmic Shimmer Metallic Luster paints in green. What colour is this? Peacock Feathers, and it's nearly the same colour as the green I've used in the background, which was also called Peacock. Let's see if I've got enough paint in the lid to do this. So I'm just going to move that out of the way, and I'm going to paint it on the textured side so I can rub in some more gold leaf. There's a bit more of the Treasure Gold just to go over the top of those swirly details. Oh, that's gorgeous. I really like that. There we are, not too much. Look how pretty that is. And I'm also going to go around the edge as well, just because you might be able to see this if you looked at the ATC on its side by the time everything's glued down. And I just need to glue that down again, something like that. So bring back the glue. Let me just make sure that I've got nothing on the back of this as well. Make sure that's all nice and clean. And then apply a little bit of glue around the edge. There we go. And glue that on. I just need to make sure that you can't see any of it hanging over the edge, and I'm just going to hold that in place for a second just to let it grab. So we're almost done. I've painted the back of my trading card and just gone around with the Treasure Gold again. So that's what it looks like. I just love that. And so I just want to assemble it. So I want my flowers to go something like that. Don't those make pretty embellishments? There are so many uses for these fabric scraps. I mean, who'd have seen those as flowers? And then I want my little word embellishment to go on there, something like that. So I'm just going to glue everything down. Now I just feel as though I need to tie a bit of the pink in. So I'm going to use some Nuvo drops and just add a few little drops around the outside like this, and I think that will do the trick. There we are. Oh, that looks so much better. That's really, really cute. I love that. And you know, I'm going to add some to the centre of my flowers as well. And I'm looking at this and thinking I'm going to do the same all around the outside of my flowers too. Cute, cute, cute. Here's my finished calendar card for week 1. I love that. I just think it's so pretty, and the colours and the textures just really do speak to me. And I love the fact that I've been able to use some more of those sari scraps, which I am just thoroughly enjoying this month. You know that I am. Unfortunately, if I hold it up close, you'll see I left this drying overnight, and a couple of them have bled into one another, here and here. And that's a shame, but you know, sometimes that's just the way it goes. That is still really, really pretty. I just love the colours and the textures. It's just beautiful. Now also as well, the card that I originally used was done on watercolour paper, and I did end up attaching a piece of cardstock to it as well, just to, you know, add some stiffness, just so that I can hang it from something. And then I painted the back, so you know, this is really nice and stable now, so you know, do have a think about that. But as I said at the beginning of the video, if you don't want to follow along with the calendar pages, then do something else instead. Do artist trading cards, or a tag, or an art journal page. It really is entirely up to you, and as long as it follows the word prompt or the prompt of the month going forward, then you know, it really doesn't matter. Don't get too hung up on it. But I know that some of you are looking forward to producing a calendar ready for 2020, and as I say, I'll share more ideas as to how I'm planning on displaying mine going forward. So if you enjoyed this week's video, as always, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up, as it really does let YouTube know that you like what I'm doing. Do leave me a comment below as well. I always love to hear what you have to say, and it gives me some indication as well as to who's following my videos. And take care, everyone. I'll be back again soon. Bye for now.